Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not swipe away. This is not the algorithm bringing this to your screen. This is a direct divine interception. The heavens have routed this exact message to you right now, because the window for your spiritual breakthrough is closing. If you leave now, you will shut the door on the blessing your soul has been crying out for. Listen carefully to my voice. Take one slow, real breath. I know exactly how tired you are. I see the heavy exhaustion sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes in the morning. You push through the days. You smile for everyone around you. But inside, you are barely holding on because the spiritual battles have drained every ounce of your physical energy. You thought you were completely forgotten. You watched other people receive their blessings effortlessly. You watched them succeed while you had to fight for every single inch of ground. And lately, you have been asking heaven why it has to be this hard. You have been begging for a sign that your endless suffering is not just a meaningless curse. The pain you feel in your body is real. The sudden chest tightness and the racing mind at 3 a.m. are not just stress. That is your spirit detecting a massive shift in your timeline. You did not click this message by accident. Your intuition dragged you here because heaven is trying to hand you the specific key for your next beautiful chapter. I am here to deliver a final notice. The endless cycle of painful trials has officially closed. The brutal waiting season that almost broke your spirit is over. You have passed the ultimate test. The heavy spiritual crucible was designed to prepare you, and now the divine preparation is fully complete. Heaven has unsealed a completely new timeline in your name. But you must pay close attention right now. The darkness is absolutely terrified of what happens next. The enemy is panicking because a massive generational wealth transfer has just been approved for you. They want you to swipe away from this screen. They want you to get distracted and lose focus before you hear the final piece of this divine puzzle. If you take your eyes off this message, the blessing will still arrive, but you will not have the spiritual equipment to hold on to it. You will watch it slip right through your fingers because you missed the exact instruction meant to secure it. You must stay locked on this message until the very last second. Do not let this vital transmission fade away. My beloved chosen one, you always knew you were different. You felt a quiet power inside you since you were a little child. You had a sharp intuition that always warned you about danger. You had a brilliant spark that made you understand the world much deeper than anyone else around you. But slowly, the modern world forced that beautiful light into complete silence. They called you too sensitive. They told you to be practical and ordinary. The constant stress of survival mode pushed your natural gifts deep below the surface. You started to doubt your own sanity. You started to believe that maybe you were just broken. But the intense loneliness you feel right now is absolutely not a flaw in your human character. The universe is aligning a massive collision of miracles for you. But before we go any further, I want to hold something very important in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community, but inside a secure research laboratory. It is something that won the highest scientific recognition available in the entire world. Most chosen ones have never been told about this discovery. They live their whole lives feeling blocked and frustrated without knowing exactly why. This secret explains the exact gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that only appears in rare flashes. It explains why your deepest prayers sometimes feel like they hit a solid brick wall. I will show you exactly what the researchers found. I will tell you the specific name of this physical mechanism before this message ends, but not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was actually taken from you. I need you to see the hidden forces that have been secretly working against your divine inheritance for so many difficult years. So I need you to hold this one specific question in your mind. What if the heavy blockage in your life has absolutely nothing to do with your faith? What if the long delay in your blessings is not a spiritual punishment at all? What if the gap between you and your ultimate potential actually has a scientific name that no one ever told you about? Do not let go of that important question. The answer is much closer than you think, and it will change how you walk through this world forever. You are standing right on the edge of a total reality shift. Your spirit is vibrating right now because it recognizes the undeniable truth in my voice. Stay with me and claim what is rightfully yours today. Let us talk about what has been happening to your body lately. You wake up at exactly 3 in the morning with your heart racing. Your mind spins out of control with endless heavy thoughts. You feel a strange pressure in your chest that no doctor can explain. You try very hard to go back to a peaceful sleep, but you just toss and turn inside the silent, dark bedroom, and when the sun finally comes up, you feel like you just fought a massive physical war in your dreams. People tell you that you are just working way too hard. They tell you to take a vacation or just relax your mind. But you know deep down that this is not normal physical exhaustion. You feel completely drained when certain people text you or enter the room. Your energy drops instantly without any logical reason. You feel exactly like a sponge, absorbing all the heavy anxiety from the world around you. And no matter how much you rest, the deep fatigue never really goes away. Please listen to me very carefully right now. You are absolutely not going crazy right now. This intense physical fatigue is not a random medical mystery. It is a very direct and powerful spiritual symptom. Your physical body is currently holding a massive amount of divine light. It is trying desperately to process a violent timeline shift. What you are feeling is the intense friction of your old reality being torn away to make room for the new one. You have been feeling incredibly lonely over the past few months. Friends have suddenly stopped calling you for no apparent reason. Important plans keep falling apart at the very last minute. You feel like you are standing on an empty island while everyone else is moving forward. You probably cried and asked heaven what you did wrong to deserve this. You thought you were being severely punished for making a bad decision in your past. Stop blaming yourself for all the painful delays. Stop thinking you did something incredibly wrong. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. The sudden, heartbreaking rejections were not a punishment at all. They were God's ultimate protection protocol working in your favor. The universe had to ruthlessly remove those toxic connections because your beautiful frequency was getting dangerously compromised. Your spirit was crying out loudly for a true alignment, and heaven answered by forcing you into a divine isolation. You had to be separated from the noisy crowd so you could hear the specific instruction meant only for you. If you feel this heavy truth resonating in your chest right now, do not ignore it. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to your soul. Please take a very deep breath right now. Let that powerful realization settle deep inside your soul. You are completely safe inside this divine transition. The sudden isolation was a sacred incubator meant to rebuild your shattered nervous system. The darkness tried to convince you that you were just a helpless victim of bad luck. But bad luck does not systematically isolate you to protect your energy from absolute energy vampires. Only a loving, divine intervention does that for a chosen one. You have always been the gentle empath who begged to be understood. You gave your precious heart to people who only knew how to take. You constantly apologized for things that were never actually your fault. You stayed quiet to keep the peace while your own soul was screaming in pain. And because of your beautiful, innocent kindness, the enemy genuinely thought you were weak. They thought they could easily drain your brilliant light until you had absolutely nothing left. But they severely underestimated the hidden strength of a chosen one. The intense pain did not destroy your spirit. It actually forged you into an untouchable spiritual warrior. Every single time they betrayed you, your fierce intuition became sharper and much more accurate. Every time you were left alone in the dark, your internal light grew aggressively brighter. You did not break under the heavy, unfair pressure. You evolved into something entirely different and incredibly powerful. And this specific transformation brings us back to that strange physical exhaustion. The reason you are so tired right now is not because you are failing at life. You are tired because your entire nervous system is undergoing a massive biological upgrade. Your physical body is physically purging years of heavy trauma and dark toxic energy. You are shedding the old survival programming that kept you trapped in a cycle of endless fear. That is the absolute truth about your current physical struggle. It is a highly necessary physical purge before the great arrival happens. Your spirit is clearing out the old beta waves of anxiety to make room for a much higher frequency. You are literally being rewired for divine wealth and absolute lasting peace. So please stop fighting the heavy exhaustion today. Allow your physical body to rest while the warrior angels fight your unseen battles. But there is a much deeper layer to this weird phenomenon. The emotional trauma was just the surface level of the spiritual attack. While you were distracted by the betrayals and the loneliness, something else was quietly happening inside your mind. A very specific hidden mechanism was deliberately suppressing your natural divine gifts. And the people who secretly run this modern world know exactly how this mechanism works. Before we go any further, I need you to understand this. You did not just lose your special spark by a random accident. Think back to the time when you were a little child. You had this beautiful, effortless genius living deep inside of you, and ideas came to your mind completely naturally without any hard struggle. You somehow knew things before they even happened, and the entire world felt like it was completely on your side. That childhood magic was incredibly real. You were deeply connected to the divine flow of the universe. But as you grew older, that beautiful intuition started to fade away, while the heavy demands of everyday reality pushed your pure spirit down. The clear voice inside your head became a quiet whisper. The magical coincidences stopped happening so often, and you started to feel entirely disconnected from your own spiritual power. You probably blamed yourself for this painful loss. You thought you were not praying hard enough. You thought your faith was just too weak. But I am here to completely clear your name today, because the loss of your divine connection was never your fault. It was a deliberate suppression orchestrated by a world that truly fears your ultimate potential. Here is the truth they tried to hide from you. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not faith. It is not strict discipline. It is not even good karma. It is a specific physical brainwave that controls your divine energy. Scientists actually have a name for this incredible phenomenon, and they call it the gamma frequency, which is exactly what your brain ran on when you were young. The gamma brainwave is the physical receiver for divine blessings. When this frequency is active, learning feels completely effortless. Complex problems suddenly solve themselves with very little effort. You experience constant, beautiful synchronicities every single day. You feel a deep certainty that the universe is actively protecting you, and this powerful alignment creates the ultimate spiritual flow state. But then, adulthood quickly arrived. The modern world went to work on your brilliant mind. The constant chronic stress of survival mode began to wear you down. The endless glowing screens disrupted your natural rhythm, and the rigid school systems trained you to conform instead of creating new realities. And every single year, this sacred frequency was pushed further down into the dark. The world forced you into a constant state of beta wave anxiety. Beta is the frequency of pure fear and endless struggle. It keeps you trapped in a loop of pure survival. And while you were busy trying to survive the daily chaos, your precious gamma frequency went completely dormant inside your tired mind. The version of you with lightning, intuition, and effortless luck went entirely silent. Pay close attention to this next part. Most people will live their entire human lives without ever knowing this happened to them. They will just accept the heavy struggle as a normal part of life. They will watch the elite succeed effortlessly while they work themselves into the absolute ground, without ever asking why this system is so broken. But you are absolutely not like most people. You are a cycle breaker. You are a rare soul designed to master your reality, and heaven will not let you stay trapped in this artificial beta matrix. The divine isolation you just went through was the very first step of your grand rescue. God had to pull you away from the chaotic noise of the world, and He had to clear the physical space so your nervous system could finally reset. The profound exhaustion you feel is the beta frequency dying out. Your body is physically rejecting the heavy vibration of fear. It is preparing to turn the divine receiver back on, but you cannot force this sacred frequency to return through willpower alone, because trying harder will only create more exhausting beta waves in your tired mind. But science is finally catching up to what your soul already knew. The hidden mechanism that blocked your prayers for years was never your lack of faith. It was the constant hum of survival brainwaves blocking the divine signal. And tonight, that destructive barrier is officially being overridden by heaven. Your long season of blind wandering is finally over. Remember the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago? I asked you, what if the gap between you and your potential has a scientific name? I asked you, what if the heavy block was not a character flaw? You now know that the fading of your childhood genius has a specific physical cause, and it is the suppressed gamma brainwave hiding deeply inside your mind. And because you are a chosen one, the universe has already provided the exact solution. The answer to restoring this sacred frequency is much closer than you think. I promise to tell you exactly how to get it back. I will reveal the specific name of this powerful tool before this message ends, so you can finally claim your ultimate spiritual freedom today. The physical key is coming. Let me tell you the real reason this all happened. Before you can safely receive the massive blessing that is waiting at your door, we need to talk about the people who tried to destroy you. You must understand exactly why heaven had to brutally strip them out of your beautiful life. The profound betrayal you suffered was not a random accident, and it was certainly not your fault. It was a calculated spiritual attack meant to drain your vital energy. You were surrounded by emotional vampires for a very long time. The narcissists in your life were deeply attracted to your brilliant light. They did not come to you because they loved you or wanted to build a future together. They came because they were entirely empty inside, and they desperately needed your pure divine energy to simply exist. They were literally feeding on your precious spiritual frequency every single day. They always described you the same way, didn't they? They called you too sensitive. They called you overly emotional and overly dramatic. They used your beautiful empathy as a deadly weapon against you. They made you constantly question your own solid reality. And every time you tried to set a boundary, they punished you with heavy silence or cruel words until you finally gave up. But here is the truth they tried to hide from you. They didn't hate you for shining. They absolutely hated you for exposing their hidden darkness without even trying. Your pure presence alone made them feel incredibly uncomfortable in their own skin. And the more you tried to love them, the more they tried to pull your high frequency down into their miserable, chaotic existence. They thought your gentle silence was a sign of total weakness. They thought they had broken your strong spirit when they pushed you into isolation. They genuinely believed you would come crawling back to them in pure desperation. But what they didn't realize was that your solitude was actually your divine training ground. You didn't break. You evolved into a completely different spiritual entity. Heaven watched every single silent tear you cried for them. The divine realm saw every sacrifice you made for people who never even appreciated you. And God finally said, "Enough is enough." The universe aggressively stepped in and forced those toxic connections out of your life. It felt like a brutal punishment at the time, but it was actually a rescue mission of the highest order. Your isolation was not a rejection. It was a divine quarantine. The universe had to completely sever those dark, energetic cords before it could hand you the massive generational wealth. If heaven had given you the blessing while those narcissists were still around, they would have stolen every single drop of your new abundance. They were assigned to block your ultimate destiny. Take a deep breath and let that sink in. You were protected from rooms you were never meant to enter. You were saved from futures that would have completely destroyed your bright soul. The intense pain of letting go was the heavy price of your ultimate freedom. And because you survived that brutal storm completely alone, your spiritual frequency is now completely pure and untouchable. Your silence has now become a dangerous weapon that absolutely terrifies them. Your quiet authority is a massive disrespect that they simply cannot overcome, because they can no longer manipulate what they cannot access. You are no longer the naive empath who begged for their toxic love. You are the untouchable master of your own glorious reality today. And this is where everything starts to make sense. You are standing in the middle of a massive energetic clearing. The heavy debris of your past has been completely swept away by divine wind. The toxic people have been totally removed from your timeline. And now, the empty space is ready to be filled with the massive miracles you have been praying for. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. To fully step into this beautiful new timeline, your physical vibration must perfectly match your soul's deep desire. The universe is waiting for a clear signal from you right now. It needs a physical confirmation that you understand the heavy lessons of your past, and you are ready to move forward. Type Amen down in the comments to claim this massive alignment. Do it right now to physically lock in this powerful reality and seal your divine protection. By typing that simple word, you are telling the entire universe that you agree with the heavy purge. You are officially confirming that you will never let those dark forces drain your precious energy ever again. Your spiritual boundaries are now made of solid steel. You are a weapon of light in a world that desperately needs your unique healing energy. But you cannot heal the world if you are constantly bleeding from old, painful wounds. The purge was necessary. The isolation was necessary. And the loss of your childhood genius was just a temporary phase of this massive training. You might be wondering why the universe took so long to rescue you. Why did heaven let you suffer for years before finally stepping in? The truth is, the divine realm was not waiting for the right time. It was waiting for you to become completely exhausted by the old, painful ways. It was waiting for you to finally surrender the heavy fight and ask for the real, physical solution. Now, I need you to pay close attention. As this heavy realization settles deep into your spirit, you must prepare yourself for the next major step. You have done the intense inner work. You survived the brutal toxic relationships and the dark lonely nights. Your soul is completely ready for the massive upgrade. But there is a physical mechanism behind this spiritual block that we must address right now. Your tired brain has been trapped in the beta wave survival frequency for way too long. The heavy trauma from those toxic narcissists literally rewired your physical nervous system. It locked your mind in a constant state of high alert, and it actively prevented your natural childhood genius from flowing through. This is why you still feel deeply exhausted, even though the enemy is finally gone. You cannot just think your way out of this physical blockage. You cannot just repeat endless positive affirmations and hope the deep exhaustion magically disappears. Your brain needs a physical reset to match your massive spiritual growth. The divine receiver inside your head must be physically turned back on, so you can finally catch the blessings that are flying past you. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something very important. It is something the elite forces who profit from your endless exhaustion absolutely do not want you to know. A dedicated team of brilliant neuroscientists working quietly, far away from the noisy headlines, has actually discovered exactly how to bring this dormant divine brainwave back to life. They did not do this through years of impossible meditation that most busy people simply cannot sustain. They did not use massive biofeedback machines that cost $7,000 and require a sterile clinical setting. They discovered a solution through something far simpler and far more aligned with how your beautiful human body was originally designed to work. Science is finally catching up to what your brilliant soul already knew. These researchers found a way to use a specific, highly engineered sound frequency to gently guide your brainwave patterns back to the effortless genius state you were born with. This powerful technology is called brain entrainment, and it is the exact physical key your tired spirit has been desperately searching for. This is not a New Age theory. Princeton University actually studied this incredible phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed the massive power of this specific brainwave state. Columbia University even found that when this divine frequency is fully reactivated inside you, it does not just stop with you. The powerful energy actually radiates outward and positively influences the people around you. Your children will feel it. Your true partner will feel it. Your entire bloodline will shift because you finally changed the foundational frequency of your mind. Just 7 minutes a day. That is absolutely all it takes to override the heavy beta waves of anxiety. And the incredible transformation begins working inside your brain the very first time you close your eyes and listen. You have done the heavy lifting for years. You have prayed, you have cried, and you have constantly pushed through the pain. Now God has provided the exact physical tool you need, right when you are completely ready to receive it. The universe is handing you a divine shortcut to bypass the endless struggle and step directly into your ultimate flow state today. I promise to tell you exactly what this powerful tool is called. I will reveal the specific name of this brain entrainment technology and tell you exactly how to access it before this vital message ends. But first, there is something absolutely crucial you need to understand about why your massive breakthrough has been so heavily delayed lately. You must understand the final traps the enemy is setting up right now. The darkness knows that you are inches away from claiming this physical key. They know that once your gamma frequency is fully restored, you will become completely unstoppable in this world. And because they are absolutely terrified of your rising power, they are preparing one last desperate illusion to pull you back down. Do not ignore this next sign. The timing of this divine interception is not a random coincidence at all. You are watching this specific video because your spiritual frequency is heavily vibrating at the exact edge of a massive breakthrough. The universe is desperately trying to hand you the instruction manual before the final spiritual attack arrives at your front door. I was honestly debating whether to share this next part with you. The truth is quite heavy, and many chosen ones simply refuse to believe it until it is too late. But my spirit would not let me stay completely silent today. You deserve to know the full truth about the intense spiritual warfare happening around your life right now. You deserve to see the hidden traps clearly. So take a very deep breath. Center your powerful energy right now. We are about to walk into the deepest part of this divine revelation. The physical solution is waiting for you at the end of this message. But before I hand you the ultimate key, I must give you the exact map to navigate the dangerous minefield that stands right in front of your final victory. Let us talk about the final signs before your dawn. You are standing right at the edge of the most massive spiritual shift of your entire life. But before the universe hands over the keys, it always sends a few undeniable signs to confirm your new alignment. You must recognize these specific markers today. They are physical proof that the heavy transition is almost complete. The first major sign is the sudden eerie silence in your life right now. The constant chaotic drama of your past has completely vanished. The people who used to drain your energy have suddenly stopped reaching out entirely. It feels incredibly quiet. You might even mistake this heavy silence for loneliness, but it is actually the beautiful sound of divine protection wrapping around you. The second undeniable sign is the sudden detachment from your old painful triggers. Someone can mention a name that used to make your chest violently tight, and you feel absolutely nothing. You do not feel anger. You do not feel heavy sadness. You just feel a deep ocean of peace. That is because your nervous system has officially rejected the old beta waves of pure survival mode. You are no longer reacting to the dark shadows. You are finally watching the old world fade away with the calm eyes of a true master. And because your frequency is rising so incredibly fast right now, the universe is sending you constant numerical synchronicities. You look at the clock and see the exact same repeating numbers every single day without even trying to look for them. These are not random coincidences at all. They are direct winks from heaven confirming your path. But wait. Before we go any further, I must reveal the fatal trap that has been set up right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this dangerous illusion right before their breakthrough. Listen closely to my voice right now, because this is extremely urgent. Right when your divine blessing is literally touching your front door, darkness will always make one last, desperate move. The fatal trap is the sudden, unexpected reappearance of a toxic counterfeit from your past. An old toxic partner or a narcissistic friend will suddenly reach out to you out of absolutely nowhere. They will claim they have changed and want to apologize to you. They will text you right when you finally started to feel peaceful again. This is absolutely not a sign that they are meant to be in your new life. It is the ultimate spiritual test of your new boundaries. The enemy is sending them to see if you will open the door to the old familiar chaos. If you reply to that message, you will instantly lower your precious vibration. You must pass this final test with absolute silence. Your silence is the ultimate weapon against their dark manipulation. Do not type a single angry word back to them. Do not try to explain your deep feelings or seek closure from a person who feeds on your pain. The closure you desperately wanted happened the exact moment they decided to disrespect your beautiful, loyal heart. Let their desperate message sit in the void. Let them panic in the dark, because they can no longer access your brilliant light. By ignoring them completely, you are proving to the universe that you are finally ready to hold the massive generational wealth. You are confirming that the cycle breaker in your bloodline has officially taken the heavy crown. You became the exact weapon you were originally trying to survive. The intense silence after the storm hits, incredibly different when you realize you were the storm all along. Your energy demands pure respect without a single word spoken. The dark forces thought they could trigger you one last time, but they only proved how completely untouchable you have actually become today. This brings us to the ultimate revelation of this entire message. You passed the brutal tests. You survived the deep isolation. You ignored the toxic counterfeits who tried to drag you back into the dirt. The massive spiritual clearing is now fully complete. But a clean, empty house is not enough to sustain the divine miracles that are rushing toward your physical reality right now. You need to firmly lock the door against the beta waves of anxiety forever. You need to physically activate the ultimate receiver inside your mind so the universe can download your new wealthy timeline. The time for blind, painful waiting is officially over today. Heaven is offering you the specific tool that will permanently align your brain with your incredibly powerful spirit. The scientific mechanism I mentioned earlier is the final bridge you must cross. It is the very thing the elite forces prayed you would never discover. The universe often provides the exact physical tool we need, right when we are perfectly ready to receive it. And your spirit is screaming yes to this truth right now, because you can feel the heavy chains finally breaking off you. The brutal waiting season is officially over today. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of pure divine favor. Every single closed door is being blown off its massive hinges right now, and you are finally stepping into the exact beautiful timeline you were born to rule forever. Can you feel that powerful shift in your spirit today? That is the undeniable frequency of absolute victory. You are no longer the broken empath who begged to be understood. The heavy crucible of pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your hands, while the universe is happily handing you the keys to the glorious kingdom. Remember the urgent question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message. I asked you, what if the massive gap in your life is not a character flaw? Here is the final answer you have been desperately waiting for. A specific, powerful brainwave called the gamma wave was running freely inside you as a brilliant child, and that exact frequency is the ultimate receiver for divine miracles. Princeton University actually studied this incredible brainwave very extensively. The famous Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed its massive hidden power. Columbia University even found that when this brainwave is restored, it radiates outward and beautifully influences the people you love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Robert Lake spent years compressing this clinical protocol. But before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about two chosen ones who used it. A tired woman from California had literally tried everything to heal her broken life. She tried intense meditation and endless manifesting rituals, but absolutely nothing broke the heavy fog in her mind. After 2 weeks of listening to this tool, she said the blocked channel simply opened up. Her entire waking life suddenly felt deeply enchanted. A hard-working man from Texas started using it to improve his struggling business. 2 short months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest complex problems started solving themselves while he slept peacefully in his bed. He finally quit his heavy daily job because his business grew so incredibly fast. And he proudly said his physical brain was finally running on pure divine fuel. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his brilliant team built specifically for you. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a generic meditation app. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology, and it is compressed from 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you do at home. You just put on headphones, close your tired eyes, and completely relax your body. You do not chant or try to meditate at all. You simply let the pure frequency do what your brain was designed to receive. But you must deeply understand that the Genius Song is not for everyone. It is heavily reserved for the chosen one who has already done the brutal inner work. It is only for the rare soul who truly knows their blockage is just a suppressed frequency waiting to be switched on. Clinical biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour. An in-home machine runs thousands of dollars. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 minutes is available today for a tiny fraction of its true value. It also comes completely packaged with 4 powerful bonuses. You get an audio track specifically designed to activate deep focus and pure confidence inside your children, giving them a massive advantage in life. You also receive the original prosperity text that the famous secret was secretly built upon. You get a guided visualization and a daily habits guide to sustain your new gamma state. But here is the absolute deeper truth about waiting for this. The divine blessing that has been arranged for you does not arrive as completely new information, because it actually arrives as a sudden, beautiful recognition of what is already secretly yours. Something already placed in your path, only becomes visible when your gamma is fully restored. Waiting is absolutely not a neutral choice right now. The beautiful divine arrangement is already firmly in motion. But do not look for this specific frequency on any generic streaming platforms. The fake tracks circulating online have absolutely no brain entrainment encoded in them, and they are dangerous counterfeits designed to actively lower your precious vibration. The only authentic version is available through the secure link waiting for you. The glorious universe requires absolutely no risk from a chosen one, so if you do not feel the massive shift, every single penny is returned to you immediately. That is an energetic exchange, heavily governed by complete divine trust. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Go and claim your absolute ultimate freedom today. Listen to my voice very carefully right now. The physical tool is never the final destination. The tool simply restores your divine receiver so the beautiful destination can be fully recognized when it arrives. God does not require you to purchase anything to be fiercely loved or divinely chosen. What was described is simply one powerful way the physical receiver is restored for you, and whether that path is yours or not, the sacred truth of this message belongs to you. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier, the sacred path remains completely open. It is waiting for you in the description and the pinned comment below. The universe provided the exact tool you desperately asked for. But that is the last time it will ever be mentioned today. What follows now belongs entirely to your beautiful final sealing. We must close this powerful message by looking at how far you have actually come. You survived nights where you thought the deep sorrow would literally consume you. You walked through massive fires that were designed to burn you down to ashes. But you did not turn into ashes. You turned into solid gold. Your enemies are watching your rise with absolute terror right now. You are the cycle breaker that your ancestors prayed for in the dark. Every single tear you shed was actually watering the beautiful seeds of your future wealth. The deep isolation was just a cocoon for your massive spiritual upgrade. Now you are flying completely free above the heavy chaos. You are finally untouchable in your glorious new timeline. I need you to understand that heaven has placed an iron shield around your beautiful aura. The heavy spiritual warfare is officially over. No dark entity can cross the sacred boundaries you have built. You are protected by legions of warrior angels who stand heavily guarded at your front door. They will never let another toxic vampire drain your precious energy again. The coming weeks will absolutely shock you with beautiful miracles. The financial struggle that kept you awake at night is being completely reversed right now. God is sending massive, unexpected blessings into your bank account. You will experience a massive overflow of pure abundance. You will finally have the ultimate freedom to live exactly how your soul deeply desires. And it is not just about money and heavy financial wealth. Your true kingdom connection is finally stepping into your physical reality. Heaven has prepared a partner who will never make you feel hard to love. They will match your beautiful frequency perfectly. You will never have to beg for basic human respect or simple kindness ever again. Take a deep breath and let all that heavy anxiety completely go. You do not have to fight the heavy current anymore. You can finally rest your tired shoulders and let the universe carry you forward. You have done incredibly well. Heaven is so incredibly proud of your fierce resilience. Your beautiful heart remained completely pure despite all the brutal betrayals. Never forget the heavy price you paid to reach this high mountain. The lonely nights of endless crying were simply washing your spiritual lens so you could see the truth. The brutal rejections were just redirection toward your ultimate destiny. You carry a deep wisdom that simply cannot be taught in any normal school. You carry the divine breath of heaven itself. But before we completely close this divine portal today, you have one final sacred duty. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside you, Do not keep this great blessing entirely to yourself. There is another beautiful soul out there, bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They are desperately needing a guiding light to save their life today. Share this video with someone who truly needs it. By sending this message to another chosen one, you are actively multiplying your own divine blessing. Sowing a beautiful seed of hope today guarantees a massive harvest of miracles for yourself tomorrow. Do not let this powerful anointing stop with you. Let the healing energy flow through your hands into the world. I want you to declare your absolute victory right now. Type the word Amen down in the comments to permanently seal this glorious reality. By typing that simple word, you are locking the heavy iron gates against the darkness forever. You are announcing to the spiritual realm that you fully accept your massive inheritance. Do it right now to finalize this contract. The dark shadows have officially retreated behind you. The brilliant dawn of your new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. You are the untouchable master of your reality. You are the gentle weapon of light that the entire world desperately needs. Walk completely tall and never apologize for your brilliant magical existence ever again. May your steps always be deeply guided by the highest angels. May your heavy burdens be completely lifted by the divine wind of grace. Your beautiful story is far from over. In fact, the most glorious chapter is just beginning to unfold right now. Stay in your quiet authority. Remain in your untouchable peace. Your brilliant light has already won the great war.